crops, bleeds, markups. At the beginning of time, there were 3 civilizations, and then the Fire Nation invaded. Welcome to Adobe Office Hours, talking about Packaging 101. Hey everybody! As you can see, we're missing Nick today. It's okay, I'm here. Everyone calm down. Hold my hand. Look at me. Hey, chat, look at me. Hi. Hello. We're going to be hanging out today. I'm Andrew Hochrattle. I am your host and your guide to the Dimension tool. If you never watched Adobe Office Hours before, hello. We are here every week. Usually my co-host is here. Don't worry. He is here, just not here. He's 50,000 feet above us right now. We are going to be talking about packaging design today, and specifically about a new tool that has come to the Adobe universe. That is the Dimension tool. So Nick and I did talk a little bit about the Dimension tool. We talked about packaging design because Nick is an amazing packaging designer. And no, clever. Calm down. If you can see, yes, chat, you are over there. Say hi to everyone. Let's hop in and let's take a look at the new Dimension tool in Adobe Illustrator. Also, hi, nice to see you. Chat, you're over there. Nice to see you. Oh, chat, hold on. Let's do this. Chat, guess what? Since Nick is not here, we're gonna do this real quick. Hold on. Wait for it. All right, chat, you're gonna get special privileges right now. Ooh, chat, you get to be Nick for the day. There we go. All right, chat, guess what? You get to be Nick for the day. Yay. All right, so let's hop in here. We are in Illustrator. Chat, say hi. We're in Illustrator, and we are talking about the Dimension tool. Brand new tool. It is right over here. If you update your Illustrator today, you can go get the Dimension tool. It is out of beta. It is ready for you to use and to learn, and there are a few different ways that you can use it in your workflow. The first way is that you can select the Dimension tool. And here I have a packaging mockup. This is a really great way to use it. Dimension tool is fantastic for packaging. And all you need to do is click on 2 areas. So let's say that I want to know how wide this panel is here, right? We're going to be creating a cereal box on screen today, but I need to know how wide is the top panel of the cereal box. And so what's cool is if I have my smart guides on, you'll see that it will actually lock on to these different areas. And with this first option selected in the Dimension tool, you'll see that you can actually hover over, and we're going to click and then start dragging out. And you'll see when I hold shift, it's actually showing me how wide that is. And I'm gonna go all the way over here and lock into the other side. I'm going to click, and then watch what happens when I start to drag up. You'll see that it has those little vertical lines. Those vertical lines are gonna note what the dimensions of this are. So we're going to click again and check it out. Now we have an object here that is each of our dimensions, is the dimensions that we just measured right there. We know that the front of the box is 6 inches, so it is going to be a little bit smaller of a box. We're gonna put little mini cereal in this. And what's cool is it also makes a layer for you. So you can see over here, layer has dimensions. We can turn off that layer and all of our dimensions would turn off. Now, if you wanted to, we also could change our preferences in the Dimension panel. So let's grab the Dimension tool over here, and we are going to do one more measurement right here. Let's do it on the back here. We're just gonna grab this, and then again, pull up to show how much of a note we want on that dimension. And from here, we can go to this little settings panel. So you can click on the settings panel, or with the Dimension tool selected, you can just hit enter. By hitting enter, it's going to open up all of your Dimension tool options. We have document units. We can actually change, if you're working in millimeters or pixels, you can change that over and see your dimensions in inches, in pixels, whatever you want. You can change that over here. You can change the precision. You can change the scale. If you want to change the scale to build something larger, you can do that as well. So maybe I wanted to build this a little bit larger. I can go 1 to 2. We can change the line weight, so I'm actually going to make this a little bit thicker. And I do want to say hi real quick to some of our friends in the YouTube chat. Hi, Emma. Hi, Jakes. Nice to see you. So you can change this to make the line weight a little bit thicker. We can add a dotted line here. Maybe some arrows. Good. We can change the arrows if we want. I think there's like finger hand arrows. Hold on, chat. Yeah, there we go. Some finger hand arrows. We could do some extension lines, really change things out a little bit. And we also can change the font here. If we want to see a different font for the type, we can do that. I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger. And when I hit save, next time I do an option, so we're just going to do, maybe let's do a vertical right here. We're going to click here and we're going to hold shift to make it dimensional and click there. You'll see that we got all of our options right there. And we do have a pop-up down here that says, let us know your experience with the dimension tool. Please do that. Share feedback. It is new, just released today, I believe. So you can go and give the feedback. But that's really, really easy, simple way to use the dimension tool. So something else that's great about the dimension tool is we actually can measure the angle of something. So check this out. What we're going to do is we are going to use the dimension tool and we're going to measure the angle of something. So we're going to grab the dimension tool and we are going to click right here on angular dimension. And then wherever there is a point, we're going to click on that point. Oops, sorry. We're going to click on the edges of this. Dimension tool, dimension tool, dimension tool. Oh, I'm on the wrong layer. That's why. So let me come down here and see if we can get this going. Oops, I turned it off instead of unlocking it. Andrew, pull it together. This is what happens when I stream by myself, chat. So we are going to use the angular right here. And from here, we can click. Chat, our settings are so insane. Why have I done this to myself, chat? Okay, so let's do this. Let's change all of these back to where they were. Line weight is 1. Arrow style needs to be at the base. Please help me. Chat, I need you today. We are going to do a line. We're going to change this back to just a regular font. Sure, let's do Adriana. Love that. We're going to change it down to just an 8-point. Hit save. My goodness. So you also can use the dimension tool for this angular dimension. And what we're going to do is hover over our point right here, and we can click and pull it out. And you can see there that it's actually showing you the angle of that corner. So right here, it has 142 degrees. I can go to the point right here. You can see the other side of that as well, 218 degrees. So I'm just going to pull that into the center. And when I let go, you can see, hey, this is a 142 degree angle. So really, really easy way to measure the inside angles if you need to rotate something by a certain amount. I'm sure that we all have tried to create a star where we rotate something and then we can't figure out how much we rotated it. Very easy. You can use the dimension tool now. So the third way that you can use the dimension tool is if you are doing cutouts. So let's say that we want to have a big cutout for a character maybe on this, and we're going to do a circle. And I want to know, what is the deal with the circle? How do I do this? Introducing a close mode for marquee selection. I don't know about that, but I'm going to learn about it, chat. So what we could do is the third way we can use the dimension tool is we can select this circle, and we also can look at the radial dimensions. So we can click here and see the radius between different objects. So from here to there, I'm on the wrong layer, chat. Chat, why am I constantly on the wrong layer? All right, here we go. What we're going to do is we are going to have our circle. We're going to put it onto our cereal box. You also can use the radial dimension tool. And from there, what we're going to do is we are going to click on the center here, and then we are going to drag out. Chat. Oh, there's no, is it for the, and chat, what's happening? Chat, why is it not working? Pretend that this is working. Pretend this is working. Chat, hold on. Stick with me. What is happening? The radial dimension. Yes, that's what I'm dimensioning. There we go. Chat, I was clicking on an anchor point. So if we want to know the radius of one of the dimensions here, all we need to do is hover over that object. Hold on. Let's start this over, chat. Hold on. Thank you. Deep breath. All right. So here we go. Another way we can use the dimension tool is we're having a cereal box. We want to do a cutout, and I want to know what is the radius of this tool. So all I need to do is click right here, use radial dimension. And from there, we are going to click in the center of our object. And then I'm just going to grab anywhere on this line, and it's going to show me where that is. So the radius here is 4 inches, and you can do this with any different shape. You can use the radius right there to see where one point is from the center. Super easy. So we do have an angle. We have all of our measurements. We can change the formatting and all of that fun stuff. So much to do here with the dimension tool. So with that, chat, we do have we do have some content here from the one, the only, the master of packaging design, Nick Longo, everybody. Let's cut to past Andrew and Nick Longo. I'll be back. We just wanted to have Nick show you some basics about packaging design. I'll still be in chat. I'll still be hanging out. So chat, keep it going. Here we go, Nick. Take it away. Thanks, future Andrew, for that great transition. Nick, hi. Hello. Welcome to the show. Hopefully you're traveling well.
Thank you.
Let's go ahead and talk about, you are a packaging designer. You do a ton of packaging design. And I have something on the screen that is packaging design. Can you talk to us just a little bit first of
Sure.
like, what do you do? What is a packaging designer? What is the zone that you have existed in for all this time?
Yeah, it started when I had one job that kind of led to going from brochures, catalogs, and your typical print job, and then going to a packaging project that someone gave me. And the minute I got it, I instantly knew this is something not only I enjoyed more than just flat or 1D art, but it was the consideration of everything, right? The folds, the tuck flaps, it gave me a better understanding of printing because it was kind of unique where it wasn't just one thing and being trimmed. It had so many other facets to consider. And also it's such a selling piece. Like I didn't realize how much I was attracted to packaging as a kid when you like look at toys or anything else, right? You have those like memory burns of like something you might have got for Christmas or for the holidays or for birthday. And I think it was just an instant like connection. I was like, I'll be doing this for a long time for
Yep.
sure.
And I think what's interesting about packaging design is it's so specific. You have to
Mhm.
be hitting every line, every fold, every color exactly how it needs to be.
Yeah.
Or else something's going to look weird, something's going to get off, or you're going to like have just a weird extra hangy thing. And I think what's interesting about packaging design too is you have to work on stuff that like won't be seen. Like you have to know what is
Yeah.
going to be hidden, where can I not put information, where can I put information, where should art bleed off, all that fun stuff. So I'm gonna hop over to your screen,
Yeah.
and let's talk a little bit about what this is. What is going on here
Yeah.
with this lines, with these
So,
lines?
yeah, maybe you've seen this before, maybe you haven't, but this is what a typical box packaging will look like. This is a glue flap tuck box. You might see some that are lock bottom that has like the one that the bottom actually constructs and like actually holds itself. This actually needs glue. This actually needs that. So this is your overall layout. And typically what you have is your middle zone here becomes your front panel. Then you have your top and your bottom. These get tucked in. So when you have, I'm sure you've opened a few where one goes like this and one goes right over it, right? So the bottom one, like you said, isn't seen, but you still want to like, you don't want to have like some weird like print marks and crops and like registration things on there. Like I always try to make it aesthetically nice, you know?
Yep.
And then this is the glue flap that brings it all together. So if you imagine that whole thing coming together and then wrapping on the other end, the glue flap is what holds the box kind of together. And you get it in this way where most vendors will show it to you and they will give you this, and everything that's a blue line is a cut, and everything
Okay.
that is a dashed line is a score where it will fold.
And what's the
So
difference between a cut and a score?
cut is literally a cut. You get a nice big blade, like a die that will actually cut the paper. So anything beyond it and that goes with the excess is trash. But then anything in front of it is obviously printed and it will be totally visible to your box, right? So the part here with the score is typically where that will just be bent. So what it does is it's not an actual deep cut. It's like a score that gives it just enough pressure that it puts a little divot in the paper. And when the machine folds it, it's a nice crisp edge. And that's also your edge of maybe the border of that panel or something unique. But you can actually go over that. And it's all about, this is where design becomes so three-dimensional and so kind of like everything. It's like a chess game. Like everything
Yes.
has to go together. And you get your dimensions as well. The cool thing too is if you don't have them, obviously we can use our new dimension tool here as well, which actually
Yes.
gives us right there and this perfect little line that kind of like stays there. I love that it's like bendable and whatever until you unclick. And now
Yes.
you have that ready to go. And you can
Yep, and
set
what's
it to
really cool is we'll cut back and we'll show kind of a little bit more of the dimension tool, but you
yeah.
can actually use it on radius. You can use it on the width of something. You can use it on the height of something, and you also can find an angle. And so if you have like a
Dang.
weird fold that you need to understand what the angle is, you can actually use the second tool there and click to find what is the angle between these two pieces.
Oh my gosh,
Which
this
is
is
really cool.
great.
So I'm gonna
Yeah.
hop over to my screen just real quick.
Yeah.
I have this weird like tab here,
Oh my
and
god.
using the dimension tool, all I need to do is select this weird tab, right?
Mhm.
And then I'm going to click on the dimension tool and select that little what would this be? The angle, I guess. Yes,
Yeah.
angular dimensions. And I'm going to click maybe right here on this anchor point, and I want to know what is the angle between these two anchor points. And as I pull it here, you'll see that's a 92-degree turn right there. Or if I want to get an angle, maybe I'm trying to do across two pieces, it's showing right there. I just clicked on either side. It will show me where or how many inches right here, or how many degrees, sorry, that angle is. So really,
Oh my
really cool. If you want to find the details of any design you're working with packaging, you can literally just use the dimension tool to click around and find all the information that you need to know, which is
It's
really
so
cool.
cool. Those are those hidden little things that they keep finding because I think they're just listening to us. It's like, wouldn't it be great if you could just tell me what that angle is?
Yes, 100%. Yeah, that it's like they know that we've all been doing this. So if you are a creative, this is what I always do: is I will just make a line, right, and then I
Yeah.
will take that line, I will use the rotate tool, and I'll
Mhm.
snap right there. And then I
Totally.
will rotate this line and see like how far is this actually rotating, right? And it will pop up with like, oh, here's your smart guide on however long. And that is the way that I used to do it forever.
Yes.
We don't have to do that
And
anymore. We have the dimension tool.
the cool part about it is once you get that angle, now you can use it in every part of the thing because you've done that thing and you saw with rotate.
Yep,
What's the
absolutely.
angle?
Yep.
Really?
So Nick, can you
Wow.
draw out or pull out maybe a couple dimensions here? And I want to show what happens. So you can see
Yeah.
over on Nick's layers panel on the side there, we
Yeah.
do have the background, the art, the food, product name, die line, all that stuff.
Yes.
And so using the dimension tool, if you want to select the width on your little
Yeah.
floating contextual taskbar over there on the left,
Yes. There
if we
go.
drag out here and grab maybe, yep, one of the dimensions there, it should make a little line for you. And you can see
There we
there
go.
that just popped up in your layers panel. There is a new layer for dimensions. And you can
Perfect.
turn that layer on and off so that you can see what your dimensions are of that shape,
so great.
of what you just drug out, of how far it was, how tall it was, all that stuff will come out with the dimension tool. And then it's on its own layer so you can turn it on and off, which is really helpful. So
You know, this is great too because I'm sure when most people like this die line that came to me from a vendor, they're using CAD, they're using something in that zone that already does that, and so, but it's technically they have to go and make their layers. Here,
yes.
you're doing it, and it's doing it all for you. Isn't that great? We can just
Yes.
turn it on and turn it off.
And how many
So
times have you worked on something that they're like, oh, hey, here's the thing in millimeters, and you're like, I have no concept for what that is.
please don't give it. Yeah.
Those are imaginary monopoly measurements, and so being able to go back and be like, cool, I can pull this into inches, and I can use a dimension tool to find exactly what it looks like. Because Nick, I don't know if you do this. I always do this when I'm doing packaging design. I will take the all the dimensions of something
Mhm.
and then print it at like a half scale and then cut it and make like a little tiny box.
Make the
tiny
little
box.
dummy ones. I used to have them all around because it's so. I even told a student that yesterday. She's like, "Do you think this die line works?" And I was like, she showed me it on screen. I'm like, "Have you printed it out
Yep,
and
print
cut it?" She
print
goes,
it out and
"No."
cut it and make a tiny little box.
It's always fun, and I think that's another way to appreciate it so much more too. Also, do that when you've done your first draft, and then you can see, does your art actually work nicely? Does it kind of flow? Does it do well on the panels? And that's what's so cool. And we'll show later how Adobe Dimension can kind of give you that look without having to go through the whole the mock-up thing.
Yep. So we're going to be cutting back and forth between live Andrew and past Andrew with Nick. Nick, you've been doing packaging for a hot minute, and
Yeah.
I think you have something to show us. So for the end of our first segment, Nick, do you want to show us the very first piece of packaging that you created? Give it to us, Nick. Come on, let's see. Star Wars. Wait, you still have like the actual thing, Nick?
It is butchered. When they re-released it for like the third time, the company I was working for got the classic license. So I got to do this little logo here.
This
Star
is
Wars
so
Classic
cool.
Collector Series. We found all the original art. This was a really cool image of Darth and Luke there. And look at that font choice, guys. Whoa.
Ooh.
Big condensed craziness. But this was cool because we were trying to make it look as old and retro as the original like Kenner. And the cool part too was here's the back. Look at those call outs.
Yes.
This is
Yes.
the best. And there are about 4 typos in this because I think I might have told the story to you before, but we sent this thing out so late because it was basically Lucasfilm being crazy on changes and approvals. And it was so late we sent it out without like proofreading. And so we had errors all over it. So you learn the hard way, guys.
Well, yeah. The packaging design tip number
There
one:
you go.
just hire a
Proofread.
copywriter to look at stuff. So we're gonna cut back into the live. Nick, do you want to do the honors of throwing it back to live Andrew?
Perfect. Andrew, live Andrew, back to you.
Thanks, Past Nick, for that. I just realized I changed my shirt, chat. I gave it away. So we're going to hop in, and we have 20 minutes right now to make a cereal box based on what Nick was working on. So he talked to us all about the basics of packaging design. We do have another case study with Nick working through one of his projects. But chat, this is Office Hours. I want to design with you live and create something. So we asked for names of cereal boxes, and chat, I'm not taking any more suggestions because Crunchy Chonks is the best idea I've ever heard. So we are making a cereal called Crunchy Chonks. We have exactly 20 minutes. I have set a timer. And chat, if you have suggestions, go ahead and put them in the chat. What I'm going to do is I am going to be using a few different tools here for us to collaborate on. And the first is we are going to use color.adobe.com. I am going to go to explore. And from here, I am going to do summer neons. So we're going to be using a bunch of different tools. And I want something really fun and bright for Crunchy Chonks. I think it's just the greatest name, and I think that this is great. This is a good one. So I'm going to add this to a library right here, and it is going to toss into Creative Cafe library. Not where I want it, but guess what? That's where it is. We only got 20 minutes, chat. We're back here, and you'll see all I need to do is come into my libraries, and it will sync seamlessly into libraries. And somebody's saying, can we get some purples? Boy, can I give you purples. How about pinks? What we're going to do is with this, I am going to add our theme to swatches. And someone's saying, does Crunchy Chunks, do we have a character? I don't think so. Maybe. I don't know. We are going to use this here, and I do want to start out with the type. The type is going to be one of my favorite things, and we are saying Crunchy Chunks, and someone says, stuff your badonka with Crunchy Chunks. Yes, that's it. All right, so let's go ahead and make this larger. And what we're going to do is we are going to find the perfect font for this using the type tool. Is we are going to bring up the type tool, and I am going to just scroll through my fonts to make sure that I find the right one. I do want something that's bubbly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a sans serif for sure. And I want something that's very, very thick. So it is going to filter these for me. There we go. And I'm going to kind of scroll through until I find one that is a little bit thicker. Gibson could be a good option. And I think that that might be the one that we go with because chat, we don't have time. We don't have time to look for things. So I'm going to go with Gibson here. I think it looks pretty good. I am going to set this in all types. So we're going to go to show options and click all caps right there. And I am, chat, going to do something that I probably shouldn't do. I am going to scale this down here. Calm down. Someone's saying impact. Do I have impact on this computer? I don't have impact on here. Not an Adobe font. So sorry. Oh, chat, we don't have time. Oh, we do have impact. Okay, got it. I do have impact installed. All right, so we're using impact. We could use an Adobe font, but impact does feel right. I'm not mad about it at all. And what I'm going to do is I am going to space all of this out, which I think looks pretty good. And I do want to do some like some things to this that make it a little bit more unique. So I am going to outline this by just doing create outlines. And we're going to ungroup all of these letters. We're going to cycle through our color palette that we have over here. And I just am going to make each of these a little bit of a different color. And maybe they are actually all on brown. So I'm going to use these colors here. And chat, you know what to do. We need to use our guides here to click and go all the way through with our art. And you'll see that we already have run into an issue that things are not sitting on top of what we want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select everything on this layer, and chat, we just need to send it to a different layer. As easy as that. So we're going to come here and we are going to go to our layers, and I am going to go to your art right here. And with this selected, I can right click and go to arrange and send to current layer. So it now is on that back layer, and we have our cuts and bleeds on top of it. So we are going to make the background that nice brown. Oh yeah, that's, if I have ever seen a cereal, that is it. So we are going to outline all of the crunchy chunks. We're going to put it in these colors right here really quick. And I'm just using the eyedropper tool. And what I want to do is I want to incorporate some of my favorite thing into this, and that is 3D. So we are going to select one of these letters, and we are going to go up to window. We're going to go to 3D materials, and here I am going to inflate. And inflate is a really, really great tool. Chat, what did you do? Chat, what did you do? Chat, hit the button. Hit the fix it button. Hit the fix it button. This is my fault. There's probably too much on this document. So I'm opening up the 3D. It is going to render and think about this 3D. But what I want to do is I want to do inflate. And the inflate is going to make this really bubbly. What I'm going to do, chat, I am just going to delete a couple of these. There we go. Yes, got it. Okay, so I deleted a couple of those, and I'm going to click on inflate. And it's going to make it bubbly. We also are going to inflate both sides, and we are going to put a nice little, let's see how this looks with the inflate both sides. Yes. Okay, that's what I want. I want it to be kind of like weirdly bubbly. We are going to play around maybe with the whoa. A little bit more depth there. There we go. That's what I want. And what we're going to do is we are going to actually set this as a graphic style. So we can come over here and we're going to go to graphic styles and hit plus. And now we have a 3D graphic style. So I can come through and I will just click on each of these, and it's going to inflate it and change the color to what I want it to be. So I do love the inflate on this. I am going to change these colors, and we are going to change the direction of these. And someone's saying, heckin' chonk size. Yeah, we want these like letters to be chunky, y'all. All right, we don't have a lot of time again. We only have a few minutes, so we can, in fact, mess around with this pretty quickly. All right, so I'm going to cycle these colors in. Chat, I failed you. I have to do it again. I'm so sorry. I don't know why I didn't do this right at the beginning. That's the right color. Here we go. This is going to be blue. This is going to be that yellow. And maybe with crunchy chunks, we have like some pieces kind of floating and falling. I don't want to do too much 3D here because it will bog things down, but I think that we are in a good zone. And now what I want to do is, you guessed it, I'm going to make these go all different directions just so we get that weird woobly kind of wobble of the 3D of the crunchy chunks. And this is, again, I'm just using the 3D to click and drag all these pieces around. And I think that I am going to space them out because they are pretty tight. But you can click in the center of your 3D and it will add in, or it will make it so that you can move all of these little details and have them in all kinds of fun different directions. Okay, so crunchy chunks is looking good. I am going to space everything out just a little bit so that we're not as overlappy. Oh, it's fun. We might need to scale this down, chat. We might just scale this down. Let's go ahead and scale it down a little bit. Scale just a little bit. All right, cool. So we got crunchy chunks. Let's get crunchy up there, over here, this there. This one might be a little bit too depthed, so I'm going to pull the depth in just a little bit. There we go. I don't know, chat. It's looking pretty crunchy. All right, I'm going to pull this over here, and then maybe we have our chunks all over here. Looking good. We are getting crunchy and chunky. Yes, yes, yes. All right. So we got crunchy chunks on our cereal box. I think it's looking good. We got about 10 minutes. So we do want to do a couple more pieces here. And I would like to put some art on the crunchy chunks. And I think that we do a pattern here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a pattern of a bunch of different shapes and then inflate them all and make them kind of blobby in the background. So what we're going to do, and crunchy chunks might actually just go to white, is I'm going to make a bunch of random shapes here, chat. And stick with me here. It's going to look cool, I promise. Do a bunch of just random shapes here. Okay, so we got a bunch of random shapes. What I'm going to do is select all these. I'm going to go to Effect. I'm going to go to Stylize and Round Corners. We are going to turn this all the way up to like 100. It's going to make these blobby. We're going to go to Object, Expand Appearance, and now they're expanded. And since I already have that 3D graphic style, I can come back into my graphic styles, and we are just going to blobby bubble each of these, and it's going to turn into a bunch of little blobby bubbles. And I am going to use this back object as a mask to put over the crunchy chunks. And maybe it goes down at the bottom. Like these are probably the size of the crunchy chunks. So I am going to make these all 4 different colors. And now what I want to do is I'm just going to pull out a little thing right here and make a clipping mask with all of our different pieces. So with all selected, we are going to make a clipping mask. And once I click in here, you'll see that I have my other pieces over here. I need to pull them in. There we go. Right there. Oh, this is looking very like futuristic Dippin' Dots. That's what's happening right here, chat. It's very Dippin' Dots, I think. So I can just pull these around and I'm going to try to fill in this space with the crunches and not the chunks. All right, another one maybe over here. Maybe we rotate them so we get some difference. And someone's saying, the crunch in every munch. Fantastic. Fantastic, chat. This is why I keep you around. So we're going to do this here. And hey, Nick Longo has showed up in the chat. Hi, Nick. I'm making some crunchy chunks. Oh, boy. We are making some cereal packaging here. And let's put one more over there. I think a green one probably is good. And these are all 3D live objects, so I can stretch them, squash them, however I need to, and they will update in that 3D. So chat, how do we feel? We got our crunchy chunks in here. They're looking pretty okay and pretty good, I think. Don't be mad about me. And we do have a few more minutes to do this. So what I want to do is I want to pull out for my printer to let them know the dimensions of this box. Have that off to the side. So what I'm going to do is use the dimension tool, and we're just going to start up here. It's going to lock in. I'm going to hold shift. Oh, chat. Everybody's okay. Everybody's okay, chat. It's okay. Woo. Woo. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the dimension tool. Woo. That was the sneeziest sneeze I've ever sneezed. And we are going to hover over with our smart guides. I'm going to click once and then bring it down here. It's going to lock in, and we're going to click again, and then we'll click out. And guess what? Our printer now has the size of this. It is 17 inches across there. So let's do it on the top as well, just so the printer has those details. Again, we are going to use the dimension tool right there. And I'm going to lock using my smart guides, and then lock right there and pull it up just a little bit to have that guide. So 3 clicks, 1, 2, go up and hit it again. If you don't have your smart guides, you can go to view. You can go to smart guides right there. Just click those on. And it is very easy to get those going on. All right, I'm rushing here because we got 7 minutes left. So with the crunchy chunks, I think for the side right here, we do a bunch of these and then we put crunchy chunks just in white impact. Chat, how do we feel about that? So I'm going to pull this in and we are going to just fill it with all of these different pieces. And what I'm going to do here is I am just going to copy and paste, and we are going to rotate these in. And I think that I'm going to scale them down just so there isn't competing anything with the other one. So I am going to crop them in here using a clipping mask. Oh yeah, it's looking crunchy. And it is looking chunky, chat. That's exactly what we want. We want crunchy, one. First need, crunchy. Second need, chunky. And I think that we have hit all of those options here. I'm going to do that. I think that looks pretty good. And now I'm just going to put crunchy chunks on here. And that is Kronchy, chunks. There we go. And we are going to make this white, rotate it. Oops. And then we are going to set it right here. Oh, yeah. Oh, set it right there in the middle of this piece here. So I'm just going to use that as the key object, and then we're going to align right here. Yes, I need to outline this, chat. All right, let's do this. Boom, boom, crunchy chunks right there. Not mad about it. Think it looks pretty fun. Did I move this entire thing? Chat, help me. All right. So we're going to put this right there. And again, we do want to add some dimensions for our printer. And so what we're going to do is we want them to know the dimensions of this piece right here. So we're going to hover over and you'll see that this is the size, and this is about 3 inches, it looks like right here. And we can pull either way. So these ones are going to go down. The other one I could go up, but I am going to hit that right there with the dimension tool. And we are just going to pull this out and pull this down, and boom. More dimensions right there. So now our printer knows those dimensions as well. And we know those if we want to pull things out and create a little bit of a mini mock-up, it would be super easy for us to do so. So we do have, let's see here. We got about 4 minutes left, chat. Let's go ahead and do the side, maybe the top. Maybe the top. Maybe we render. Rendering is going to be insane on this, chat. We're not going to do that. But maybe let's do the back of the box. And I think the back of the box, we can kind of leverage these little chunks. And I think maybe put them on the edges and some of the sides. So I'm going to do the back of this. And maybe we do the back in this nice blue color, because I do like this blue color quite a bit. And chat, again, I am working on the wrong layer, but that's fine. I can select all these pieces, come back to your art, and go to arrange and send to current layer. And now they're back on my art layer and everything looks good. I should have all my dividers and my mockups right there. All right, we got it. We are going to put in some of these chunks. And again, I'm just going to copy a few of these and we are going to use them as kind of corner accents here. And chat, you know that we got to put the headline on here because it is one of the greatest headlines of all time. It is, I believe it. What do we say? What do we say, Nick? Wade actually said it. Wade said, more chunkatize me, crunchy chunks. Yes, that is going to be exactly what we put. So I'm going to add in the text here just in a text box for the back, and we are going to crunchitize. We do want to find a font that's a little bit different, so I am going to use Adobe fonts here. We're going to filter to sans serif. We want something that is bold, and let's use Androis. That's like me. It's my name. So I'm going to use Androis here. I think that that looks pretty good. And we are going to do crunchitize me, crunchy chunks. We're going to put this just in white on, actually, let's put it in brown on the back. There's no contrast there. Let's put it in white on the back. And I'm going to make this absolutely huge because we know that we need to chunkatize. Chunkatize me, crunchy chunks. We, of course, need a exclamation mark right there. And I think that this looks good, except I think that I want to do this so that it's like super blown out. So I'm going to do it this way. And chat, when my timer goes off, I have like 30 seconds for you to learn more about packaging design with Nick. So just know, if the timer goes off, that's what we did today. We created a cereal box. So we are going to pull this into the center here. I'm going to align it. I think it looks pretty good. I'm going to add in a couple more of these, maybe just right over some of the edges so that we have a little bit of diversity in the crunches. All right, not mad about it. Not mad about it at all. Maybe one down here, and then maybe we have a little bit of the pink kind of showing right there. Oh, sorry for that noise I just made, chat. Oh, chat. Oh, no. Oh no, I put it in the wrong place. So let's put that in the clipping mask, and I am going to send it to the back, and that way it is going to be over there. So we've got crunchy chunks. Crunchy chunks, chunkatize me, crunchy chunks, chat. We have done some packaging design in literally no time. We had about 20 minutes. What's the sugar content of crunchy chunks? 100%. It is 100% sugar. It is just sugar. So we have all our dimensions. Again, we use the dimension tool right over here. And Nick is going to come back in with another little segment to talk to you about packaging design, how he thinks about packaging. That's my alarm. And maybe what you can do to level up your packaging. So future past Nick, take it away.
Well, thank you so much, Andrew. We're back.
We're back, baby.
How was that? Look at that.
Wow, what a great show we're having so far, Nick. I think it's one of our best shows.
Already, I can feel it.
I can feel it. So, Nick, we're back here with some die lines. What do we do with all of these mock-ups when we're working with packaging design? What is happening here? And for those of you that are watching on the live stream a little bit later today in the future, this was recorded in the past with Nick. In the future, we're creating a cereal box. And so hopefully we have some of these dimensions already in there. And hopefully what we're working on looks similar to this. If it doesn't, Andrew, pull it together. All right, Nick. So what do we do here? Because we have laid these out in our design. We're about to create a cereal box. What do we do next?
Yeah. Usually what I've done is when we get this, we are using it for conceptual. So we've gotten to the part where maybe we have 2 to 3 rounds in there. All of a sudden, what I'll start doing is I'm going to start building it in layers. And not only, I think packaging is what totally got me to use layers much more religiously. But what we'll technically do is bring in the backgrounds. And the backgrounds are typically in a way here. Some elements have got shifted on here just based on some printer preferences. But usually it is like the background colors, those things that really need to kind of just be the base. And the beautiful thing, obviously, everybody who knows using layers, it gives you that ability to lock it and never have to worry about touching it. Because a lot of these, when you look at it through wireframe, you can see they are a lot of placed CMYK PSDs, and you have them cropped, you have them trimmed. But when you see it here, it looks great, right? Yep. Zoom in. And what you can tell here is, again, when we're doing bleeds, check with either the vendor or whoever is using it. Sometimes it's right there on their template and it will give you some registration or some key. They'll actually even draw the bleed line to tell you how much you have to go past the blue line. So notice all of anything I want to be off the actual edge, you have to have it go past the blue line. So there is some bleed. So then when this is cut, what you have is a beautiful slice. There's nothing, there's no like little white jaggedy edges or anything like that. Give it the bleed, and then that way you are good to go. So here we got everything in that zone. We are our lovely lifestyle picture and everything there. Then we bring in the food. So the food's on its own label as well. And what I like about this too is when you are using stuff like PNGs, or these are I think these are PSDs that have obviously transparent backgrounds, you can add the drop shadow within Photoshop. And what I love about it here is it gives you that natural look, like it's actually being placed right on there. Yep. So these are put in, they're all kind of, these are super high res, technically making sure this is where you can really work with your client and say, hey, if you're shooting this, here are some requirements: 300 DPI, average, try to get the document size to be the same size as what you're placing it on there. So maybe another cool thing is when you're using the actual tool here for dimension, and you're going to slice that and see how it goes. I wonder why it didn't work. Did I have something off here? Let's see. Is it off?
Are you maybe it needs to be selected?
Oh, I have to have
object. Or
layer. Because I have to have the layer on, I guess. No,
I think you have to select an object.
Oh, there it is. Nope. Nothing.
Object selected.
Oh, wait, there it is.
Wait, there it is.
Why would it do it on the actual artboard? Oh, is that no? Let's see. It did it here.
Oh, you have to click, not click drag.
Ah, there you go.
That's what it is. click, not click drag. Official terms here on Adobe Office Hours. Interesting. So I'm interested in there we go.
Okay, cool. So we got that ready to go. Then we can bring in more of the art, and this is where you can actually. It's got a lot, right? So what I love about this is once I go here, I can lock food, I can lock background, and now I know as I go through here and click on these smaller things, I'm not getting the food, right? The food's like kind of
Yep.
locked away, because that could be a nuisance when you're going through a lot of these things. And this is where hierarchy really kind of plays into a huge role, because in many cases, you're working with the client in a different way with packaging, and they are looking at 6 different panels, right? They're looking at, is my logo big enough? How many times have we heard make the logo bigger? You know, and you can see on this one, we really went big on it. This was an intro to the brand, so it had never really existed before. So you're trying to calculate headline, subhead, copy, and then maybe even story copy on the side. Then you get to the back, and this is where it gets a little bit more like Tetris, because you're trying to get everything to look obviously eye-pleasing, but having some arrangement and some clear understanding of where to go. I want to see where nutritional facts are. I want to see where ingredients are. So notice putting them in the white box or doing something unique to kind of make them a little different looks very helpful. And then instructions are one of those things I'm a stickler for. How many times have you picked something up and the instructions are this big on a huge pizza box?
Yes.
You know, it's kind of like, give me a break. Like, you have all this room. So I love to make sure it's easy to read, using icons and iconography to help people out, knowing we got conventional oven, we've got microwave. I love doing things like this. I think it's huge in the food industry now, is to call out when there are special ingredients or ingredients worth calling out for. You do something nice for them, and you kind of almost think of infographics for the back of this too.
Yeah, and you want to communicate too what's in the packaging, like what's inside. Yes, we're showing them, but like we need to really sell them on what they're about to experience with that packaging. And Nick, what is the deal with all of the nutrition facts, all the legal stuff? Is that hard to deal with? How do you work with all of those details?
I'll show you. Oh, this one's actually upside down, but I'll show you it here. So here's a really cool example of a bag. So this one is a totally different one. This is a pouch bag. They call it the gusset bag. It's everything you get in the store now. Cookies, candy, granola is coming in these. And typically they have like the Ziploc pouch on the top, you know, so it's like nice there, but you get this all in one thing and your back is upside down. So technically what I'll do is I'll make it here on the side in the same dimensions. And that way, like, try designing something with the artwork upside down. You can actually use that new feature that the art tilt, where you can rotate your artboard.
Yep, tilt your artboard.
That's really cool. Exactly. But for here, a few golden rules with your nutritional facts and everything. I like to make sure they're just black on white. There are some things you can do design aesthetically. Some people do white on a dark color and reverse it out. But it's all about accessibility. Is there enough contrast? And I think just to play it safe, you never want someone to have to recall your client's work. So I always go for the white background and the black, and giving it room, having a nice border. If it cuts into some of your backgrounds, make sure you're giving it a nice kind of edge so it looks clean and simple. And then the same goes for your UPC. I know a lot of people like to think you can do it in color, or maybe you can reverse it out, or I'm sure you've seen it too on a can where it's aluminum. They drop the white background and it's just black on the aluminum. There was a Mountain Dew sports drink that came out, I think it was last year, and there was not enough contrast on it, and it wasn't scanning anywhere at retail. And they had to do a complete like redo. So always make sure it's black. And if it's something that it is beyond, there's no white base like paper, make sure there's a hit of white ink behind it, so it's giving you enough of the contrast. Then there's all the other little things. Sometimes they have like the kosher thing, or they might have non-GMO, or all these other things.
Vegan, yeah.
Oh, exactly. So certain ones you can make on your own, and you can actually say like, let's make our own vegan thing, if that's all you want to say. But if you are getting it approved and it is like USDA approved under some of these things, there are official seals and official logos that you do want to use. And ask your client if they either have one, or maybe you can be a great resource to them and find it. A lot of these times you can go onto websites and they do have a media section where you can download all of the AI files for a lot of those little badges.
Heck yeah. So we have all of this stuff together. What do you usually do next? I know that we are probably going to explore some 3D and Illustrator and see if we can kind of put this together, but you go a little bit further into the 3D realm. What do you do once you have your art all done?
So I'll show you something really quick. One thing you can technically do, I'll do it really quick, is I can go right in here, super high res. I'm kind of widescreen as big as possible. I will just do a little bit of a screen cap here of my front panel. just like this.
Okay.
And some little cheats I do is I take it right from here and I just bring it right to my artboard.
Right back
So
in Illustrator.
Yeah, so I've got this right here. You can see I got this super high res image of it. All right. And it's nice and clean. So literally I can actually copy paste. I can put it into a library. Right now I'm just going to just do a quick copy of it. And we're going to roll over to the second favorite one here. And this is Adobe Dimension. So
Good
once
luck,
you're
Nick's
here,
computer.
yeah, I know, right? Oh gosh, here we go. So here's that. I'm going to see if this works. If we double click here and hit paste, do we get it? Oh my gosh. There it is. Perfect. Look at that. So you can see the old version. That was a much older version there. Here's this new one. I can actually go to this and delete it. So now I only have my new one. Let's see. Come on. Oh, here we'll go to graphic. That is my front one number here. 7. Get rid of it. Nope. Wrong one. There we go. This is fun.
Layers.
Here.
High quality
There it is. All right, cool. So all I've done is I've made a box with my dimensions. So when you click on, you can go right to here, go to one of these cool little boxes here. There's a cube box, there's a tall box. If I brought this over here and placed it here, all I have to do is go right in here and pop in my dimensions of the box from the panel. All I did was that exact same thing. And I was given this box here. And if I take the orbit tool, you can see how that box looks. So I've got the sides, I've got the back, everything that I needed. I didn't need that one side because this was just being shown like this here. So now with my new art here, I can see that it's a little bit squashed. So I'm going to bring it like this. And then it's just so simple. You just kind of move it to the actual panel. It takes a little bit of getting used to. So you want to make sure you are covering all of those little pieces. You can see we're almost there. And then a little bit wider. There we go. Just like any other app, guys, you have layers. So let's say this is graphic 7. If I bring this down a few, you'll see there might be an overlap. Let's bring it down here. Yeah, see how the top panel is overlapping right there at the top?
Yep.
You control the panels here and layers the same way you would if you were
that's
in any
really
other
cool.
thing. And that way, so now if I flip it around and do a render, and let's say my top panel is creeping in on the side or the back, I just move the layer and we get that into a certain position, then hit render and you're good to go. So you get this beautiful thing. And the one thing I love about this is just having these different angles and uniqueness. Like if the client does want something more like this, or if the client wants a row of them, the coolest thing you can do is just literally just option click and you get these. And look at how the perspective just keeps it in line. It is so cool. And then move that again and you'll have the same thing. Like it is, sometimes you might even get something unique that you're like, oh, I wasn't planning a little shot like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's so cool. So
really
Nick,
cool.
Thank you so much for joining us with the packaging design. Right now, Nick has got to go make a flight. He'll be flying during our time today when we're hanging out live. So Nick, do you want to throw back to us live from 10,000 feet?
And now back to live Andrew.
Hi, live Andrew. Chat, I pushed my mute button 4 times right there. We almost did it. Almost seamless. So thanks for joining us. Hopefully you learned a lot about packaging design. And I'm just going to do a quick recap about the new dimension tool in Adobe Illustrator. If you don't have it, go update Adobe Illustrator. It is a brand new tool. If you want more information about it, you can click right here and you can learn more about the dimension tool. And we'll show you everything that you need to know about how to use the dimension tool. You also can select this tool right there and it will select it for you. So I do want to show one more time how to use the dimension tool. If we want to measure the sides of something, we can use the dimension tool right here. And all we're going to do is click on one piece. We're going to hold down Shift, and then we are going to go to the next spot that we want. And then we're going to drag up, and that will show how much we want to add to that line to let our printers know what the size is. You also can use the dimension tool to measure a angle. So I want to see this right here. All I need to do is grab my dimension tool one more time, and I'm going to click right there on the angular dimension. And as I click here and drag out, you can see it is a 142-degree angle. I let go, and then it adds in that measurement for me. One more thing that it can do is it can grab the radius of an object. And so if we're working and we had a circle here, we could use the dimension tool to click right there, and we could click anywhere within this circle, and it is going to outline the radius of that circle for us. So really great tool for you to work with if you are working in packaging design. We are here every single Thursday, 1 p.m. for Adobe Office Hours. Next week, we'll be hanging out, and I will be in studio. Nick will be remote, and we'll be hanging out live with you, taking your suggestions and doing some very fun secrets. That's right, chat. Next week's secret episode, I'll see you there, and tell me a secret in chat. Bye.